Welcome to the Distribution Resource Integration and Value Estimation Tool Overview. This is a software tool that can take input from a range of distribution modeling programs and then conduct a research-refined analysis and finally deliver output to help distribution engineers determine the potential impacts from distributed energy resources. The primary impact of concern today is hosting capacity. Hosting capacity is defined as the amount of DER that can be accommodated without adversely impacting power quality or reliability under existing control configurations and without requiring infrastructure upgrades. Hosting capacity can describe a system, a feeder within the system, or a specific location within a feeder. There are two primary components to determine hosting capacity with Drive. The first is the interface to the vendor planning tool, and the second is a hosting capacity assessment. The interface to the planning tool runs the baseline feeder assessment with power flow solutions and short circuit studies. The hosting capacity assessment takes that data and then calculates the hosting capacity. This is an example of an interface to a planning tool. The user selects one or multiple feeders, then defines several analysis parameters such as load levels to be analyzed, and finally, they process to extract the information needed for Drive. This is an example of analyzing the extracted data to determine hosting capacity. The user points to the directory of extracted data and then selects to analyze hosting capacity. There are evaluation thresholds to set up, as well as other variables that will be discussed in a separate tutorial. Once set up, the user selects to either process all feeders in the working directory or just an individual feeder. Here I have selected to analyze an individual feeder. Voltage, thermal, and protection hosting capacities are calculated. Finally, the user can visualize the hosting capacity on the feeder by selecting to visualize the results. There are options of what issues to include for hosting capacity. Here I have selected just primary voltage deviation. The user can plot all feeders or just a specific one. Here I've selected to plot an individual feeder. You can see that the hosting capacity depends on location. Near the feeder head, the hosting capacity is near 10 megawatts, while at the extremities, the hosting capacity is near 1 megawatt. If thermal issues are added, the hosting capacity decreases further. If overvoltage is added, the hosting capacity decreases significantly. The following tutorials will give more detail into using the Drive tool.